Music.
Eight seven six 292 677666. You want a horse? Link Claudia Davis, man. You want a piece of land? She are the real big woman, big woman. Miss Davis, she are the real big woman. With she, you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own horse and a van through she. You can own acre land. Miss D are the real big woman. With she, you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own horse and a van through she. You can own acre land. She tell me pre-smart, pre-better. Get your own damn place so you prefer every day. My wife have to sign up letter car. NHT them a reach and set up. Plus me don't get a youth of a member. My son just on table in December. And she do construction too. She will be the house for you and you get it well rendered. Davis, she a the real big woman. With she you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre land. Miss D a the real big woman. With she you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre land. She now start it and left you there. Me I tell your brother, yes, she well prepared. And if you're meeting and no farmer panga wrong, she give you lawyer, brother, clear your fear. She are the best arrestation. She help the maid if you stop pay rent. They don't care about mind them, just let me send by steel and gravel and black and cement out. Now me house that I build up on the eye, me I save some me money gone up in the sky from. Maybe
Sign
I
away.
say me now lie bank. Now me pocket never giant. Me swear for me life, say me son him have to fly so. Hypocrite, they don't know we die. And we can't stop Claudia Davis. Every day another house gone. I Davis, she are the real woman. With she coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre. Miss D are the real big woman. With she you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre.
It's 40 years. There's some equity building,
You
right?
know.
At the end of it, you can
Claudia Davis.
walk away. You get something, right?
True.
Some of those other situations, you're almost doomed from the start to get nothing.
Nothing. So welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us on YouTube Live. I'm Claudia, and this is our fearless leader, Claudia Davis.
You said, I'm Claudia.
Oh, I'm Claudia. I'm Tony. Mom, remember when you did that too? It's like, that was so funny. Like, I'm blending into you, Mom. It's
Is
like,
that so?
I'm Claudia.
Can you try to imitate me too much? That's why.
But you know, it's funny, like when I talk to people on the phone, they just naturally assume I am you. They just naturally assume that. And then when I'm like, no, I'm actually her daughter, they're like, it's lie. It's lie. I'm just gonna have to be here from now on, Mom. All right, so we have some persons on already. First person, Shoshana. Hi, welcome.
Hi, Shoshana.
Paul says good evening, and Jay says, what's cracking? Mom, what's cracking on your Sunday?
What's cracking is that we need a dance.
Yes, we do.
Davis, sign away.
And the Buffalo says, hello, hi.
Hi, the Buffalo.
Shoshana says, good evening, ladies.
Good
evening. Jamaican Beauty says, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. And Jay says, vibing out to the music. Yes, we are.
Yeah, Tony, you should give them some more of the music while the people come in. The instrumental. Something.
Something. Lorna says, hello, good afternoon, school start. Yes, and Mom has a big lesson lineup.
Oh my God.
You guys gonna have to take out your pen and paper. Old school style.
Your pen and paper. Some of you will get it on the first look, some won't. But it's a part of the learning, right?
Right.
So you just have to keep looking at it over and over till it clicks. That's what you do.
Right. And someone had messaged me earlier in the week asking me to take out the segments where you teach the lesson and just have it as a short video clip that segment. So I will start doing that this
Oh,
week.
okay. Yes. That's a good idea.
Right, so that way it's easier for them to
find
find
it.
back.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Jasmine says, "Bless Sunday, ladies. Blessed.
Bless, guys. Bless."
Jane says, "Oh, Chris B says hi.
Hi,
Chris.
Chris. Hi,
And
Chris.
Jane says, "Good evening, Miss Claudia and Tony, and happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday." Rusty Billow says, "You look so glamorous. Thank you.
Thank you. Glamorous. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Rusty Billow says, "Will there be a test after the lesson?"
But of course, maybe not after each lesson, but that test coming up.
Yeah, I think there's a test coming up.
So, Rusty Willow, make sure you pass it. Test simple still. If you understand the concepts, it's the concepts you need to understand, right? I kind of doing a lot of the numbers because what I realize is probably better teaching numbers and then intersperse the theory with it, right? And then later down, we're going to do some practicals and show you. So, but I'm trying to get through at least most of the numbers that you will need just to double check behind your contractor, right? Just to double check behind your contractor, right? So today we're looking at the steel in the foundation. How you calculate the steel just in the foundation. I mean, that's about all I think we can bite off today. And last week we did how to figure out the running foot of your foundation and how to calculate the concrete that's going to go in there. So this week we go a little bit more in depth. Trying to just give you some bite size so that you can grasp it. You know, like some of us will take a little longer to understand the numbers, right? But you just have to keep looking at it. That's the key. Keep looking at it. And we're trying to start because persons come on late. We can't start at the numbers at 3. We have to start like at 4. All right, but as Tony says, someone requested that she pull it out, which I think is a good idea. I never ever thought of that. So she will try. So Tony, one more thing on your plate. Write it on your board.
This board.
Well, I'm sorry for every time I look at it to get longer and longer.
I know.
And I don't see anything being crossed out.
Well, you promised me this week we were going to do 11 and 8. So.
Really?
Yeah. If we do 11 and 8, I am halfway through the list.
11 and 8. I see how. Wow. Very ambitious.
So this is the time where if you have a question about real estate, you can ask us.
All right, but Tony, all right, so while we're formulating the questions, nobody jumps in. Let us go to this article that I really want to get, get these guys' opinion on. This is just so crazy. When I read it, I was like, Are you sharing it?
Yeah, just making sure. Seems to be moving slower today. Is that kind of slow or anything? Can they see the screen? Go on live on your end and tell if they can see it. Okay, they can see it. All right.
It's gone.
This is moving slow, but let's
check back your live and see.
No, it's there. You want to read from this?
So it says,
here.
No, it's better if I read it from the screen. I believe I have it here, so.
Okay, go ahead.
Naggo Head Primary and the Pentecostal Church in land dispute. This came out on, is this a Gleaner publication?
Yes, February 17th.
February 17, which was last week. You want to scroll for me? Which was last week, right? No, this is a church. She took a picture. Let's see the picture. So I imagine the church. Is it the church in the forefront? Not so sure.
Yes, it says the Pentecostal City Mission Church foreground.
Foreground, yes.
With the Naggo Head Primary School and its playground in the background. The church and the school located in Southborough, Portmore, St. Catherine are in a land dispute.
All right. So a conflict is brewing between Naggo Head Primary School and the neighboring Pentecostal City Mission Church in Portmore, St. Catherine, over property the church has occupied. Notice the word occupied for over 25 years. Reverend Michael Davis, the pastor of the Southborough-based church, has accused the school's administration of attempting to evict them from the property without consultation. He revealed that the school has started constructing a perimeter wall around the land, effectively fencing in the church without any provisions for access. Where we belong to the Land Agency of Jamaica, Davidson disclosed. When we got here, it was an abandoned property full of bush, dark, and a lot of robbery committed because it was convenient for robbers to hold up citizens. He explained that his congregation cleared the land, installed security lighting to enhance community safety, and constructed a temporary structure for worship. It reached a point now where the school is saying that they want the land to do various things. First, we hear they want it for green space. Then it changed to a plain field, and now to build classrooms to expand the school's capacity. Although the church has not received a formal eviction notice, Davidson said the ongoing construction of the wall has raised alarm among church members. I had a brief discussion with the principal and was told that the school intends to fence the property all the way up to the infant school that borders the church. If this happens, it means that the church will be fenced in with no provision for entrance and exit, he lamented. The pastor emphasized the church's importance to the community, providing scholarships and back-to-school support, hosting weddings and funerals, and supporting the elderly with care packages. Davidson also presented documentation showing that he had written to the land agency requesting a lease for 1.9 acres of the 8.1 acre property. He was granted permission to build a temporary structure pending approval from the Portmore City Municipality and an impact assessment by the National Environment and Planning Agency confirmed that although the land is zoned for educational use, the church's presence complied with zoning requirements. When contacted for a comment, Andrea Givens, principal of Naggo Head Primary School, declined to comment on record. Efforts to contact the school's chairman, Audrey Dietrich Stewart, and St. Catherine East Central Member of Parliament, Alanda Tarrella, were unsuccessful. In a Facebook post last December, Terling celebrated the start of the construction of the perimeter wall. Principal Givens and I have been working with the Ministry of Education to finalize a project to build a new school wall for Naggo Head Primary to keep our children and schools safe, he said. Everything is now finalized and the contractor will start working. As a member of parliament, I will always represent our children and schools to improve the infrastructure and provide safe and better institutions for our children to learn. However, the Portmore Municipal Corporation has since intervened to place a stop order on the project last Tuesday. Chairman Leon Thomas said, while the school had submitted a request to the municipal corporation, the project went ahead without getting the go-ahead from the municipality. The stop order was placed to give the engineers time to assess whether there are any boundary breaches, Thomas said. A title search by the Sunday Gleaner confirmed that the Commissioner of Lands now owns the land in question. So the Commissioner of Lands owns all government lands. A well-placed source at the agency said the current space occupied by the church is actually 2 lots, and that all matters concerning the land must be approved by the Commissioner of Lands. The Ministry of Education, nor the Member of Parliament, nor the Parish Council can give permission to do any act concerning the property without the Commissioner of Lands approval. Added the source. The Ministry of Education cannot hold land in its name, as it is not a body corporate as described in the Companies Act. What is their authority to be assuming ownership? The Commissioner of Lands and the Port Municipal Corporation have been invited to a February 18 stakeholders meeting to discuss the situation. So this is the Commissioner of Lands and the Portmore Municipality have been invited to a meeting to discuss this. So ladies and gentlemen, does this seem like something that should have even made the Gleaner in the first place? This is a church and a school. We have many schools with churches on the compound. So many, it's not funny because a lot of our schools are actually started by churches, right? So there are churches.
Some churches are still on properties where schools are.
Yeah. That's
Church opens on Sunday and the school is right there during the week, and it's the same entrance you walk through to
access the church. I'm not understanding what is this dispute about, right?
I love that they're fighting over things they don't own.
Tony, I'm a point that out, man. So it seems to me that they both have permission to be on this property. The school, yes, integral part of the community. So is the church. It does not appear to me as if the church have any more rights than the school and the school have any more rights than the church. We need both, right? Mm-hmm. I don't understand why the pastor is saying if they fence around this place, we will have no entrance.
I mean,
how much entrance you need? Or you just need to drive in through the gate and go around to the church?
Yeah, I mean, and couldn't the school gate be opened on the day that church is open to allow access?
It's one compound. I don't see why this is a challenge. But you see, it speaks to something deeper. It speaks to something deeper, something ingrained in the fabric of our Jamaicans, right? That is coming out here. And I want somebody to tell me what it is. Why is it that they will be fighting? Hi, Zayvon. Good afternoon. I'm on YouTube Live. You want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hi? Say hi, everybody. Where's he? Where are they? You don't see them. Look. You see them? Is it 10 people? Look. How many persons you see? Tell me now. Look now. How many is it? 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, right 5. What? No. No? Aren't you seeing them? All right. So anybody telling me yet? What is going on here with these two heads of these two schools?
It's just a mix up and blend up.
It's all good. Where's Under? He's downstairs.
And Future says, Pastor give the most jacket in Jamaica.
Future, that's rich. You know the story. Future, we're talking about a piece of real estate that the school and the church is contending. And this wall, first of all, the wall helps both the church and the school. Yes or no? It does. I don't see anywhere in the article where the church said where the school said we're going to demolish your church building. I didn't see anything like that.
But it sounds to me like this is the school, this is the church, and here is the basic school. So the church is like in between them, and so the school is fencing from here going right around. So they're now inside the school compound.
So what's the challenge? We have lots of premises. I can think of places. I think Immaculate Conception of a church inside.
I think Peter and Paul too.
Yes.
Where I went in under high school.
Right.
The auditorium was a church on weekends.
Right. So if it is even going to be a challenge, you fence a perimeter and maybe you put a chain link, maybe just to around the church yard itself, right? And they use common parking. And this is something that could have been dialogued with between the both heads of not government, heads of institutions.
Buffalo says jealousy, perhaps, why they're having this dispute.
Jealousy.
And Esther says it's spiritual warfare, resentment against churches and traditions of joining the two institutions. Maybe. Buffalo says maybe someone notices the value of the land and wants it for themselves. Government own it, man.
Government own it. Government owns it.
Well, what I find really interesting, Mom, is that the church, as the organization, can go to the government and say, we see this land empty and we'd like permission to use it. Which other body can do that?
Maybe charities should be able to can do it.
Yeah.
But the church does have a kind of, seems like they have an overreaching right kind of thing, right? Which is why I always hear my father say, do not put any church on your land. Do not rent the land to no church. He always says that, right? Claudia, do not rent the land to no church. No church. Don't want them. No church. Because I'm going to take away your land.
Well, it seems if they're on the government land long enough, 70 years? How long is it?
60.
60 years? And church can last longer than 60 years.
Well, they wouldn't claim it under adverse if they have a lease, remember? They were given permission, so they went on as a tenant.
Yeah, Mom, but it's a church.
And
you really think government?
The church does not need to own the land.
Is going to remove the church?
Yeah, but they don't really need to own it. This is a case where a church and a school don't need to own any land. All they need to do is possess it. So go and use it.
Yeah, that's true.
You understand? Just go and use it.
But I think two bodies where sole purpose is to serve people, serve the community,
right,
should be able to figure this arrangement out.
Yeah. Why you need all this only for meeting? The meeting should have been between the Ministry of Education, the church, to say, okay, how are we going to coexist on this place? The church shouldn't feel as if somebody were evict them.
Yeah.
You understand? And the school shouldn't feel as if, oh, we have the right, we could just fence around the wall of them people and then make them uncomfortable, them have to leave.
But it sounds from the article that the school started fencing in before the official approvals were given.
Yes, and even before talking to the pastor and letting him know what was going on, without having simple dialogue, guys. No, this is one of the things with Jamaicans, when it comes to land, we have a lot of these family land disputes as well. The people who did a long time from granny days and whatever feel that them have an undisputed right to this land. Nobody can test them off it, right? So in this case too, this is like two cousins or two brothers who own this land forever. And one decides to have fence out the place because the whole of this is my one now, which I'm sure is the impression that the church people get in it. When them see you start fence out the place, yes, and the whole of this now belong to them, right? Belong to you. So I think there should have been some dialogue in the first instance, so that
Hurricane Gilbert says maybe the church make too much noise at the children's ears.
But usually churches are Saturday Sundays or in the evenings.
Well, usually, yeah. Usually the evenings are weekends.
Yeah, usually. So it shouldn't be I don't see how this becomes a dispute, to be honest. I really don't.
Mhm.
This is just a case of two brother and sister not talking to each other. So them go to third party to solve them problem. And a stop order. To get to the point where the parish council has to stop things. What a stop.
Well, yeah, because they're saying something about maybe breaches and permission.
No breach of a boundary.
Yeah.
Because I don't think normally, guys, that you need to go to the parish council to put up a fence. You can't put up your wall.
Really?
Yes, you don't need to go to the parish council to get permission to put up a wall.
A wall that's not yours? A property that's not yours?
So who is paying for the wall?
Ministry of Education. That's why the parish council person was saying I think the title people were saying the ministry does not own any land, so they can't give no permission to do anything on the land.
And they shouldn't put up a fence. So the ministry themselves did not get permission from the commissioner of lands to put a fence along the boundary. That's what you're saying.
That's what the article suggests, yeah. Complicated. They seem to make it a simple thing, like asking for permission. Very complicated, though.
Yeah, ask permission to put up a fence. Come on, guys. Even if you did breed, even if you had leased somebody's private property and you wanted to fence it, you would need to have dialogue with the landlord.
Mm-hmm.
You must have dialogue with the landlords. I don't understand how the ministry would act in such a what's the word I'm looking for? Everybody tell me, please, how the ministry could act in such an authoritative way, not having owned the land.
Maybe they don't realize. Maybe nobody bothered to check the title.
But they're spending millions.
We had some questions before we were talking.
Oh,
let me see if I can go back to that. All right, so Jay was saying, where on the island I can get the cheapest and most affordable house or land? Clarendon. And Cheryl was saying, good afternoon, ladies. Miss Claudia, I'm here in Jamaica. I will call you soon to link up.
Okay, you're gonna miss today. But you're on, so you're missing today.
Maybe she has to leave.
She have to run away. Hi, Cheryl. Yeah, man.
And Esther was saying to Jay, maybe you could buy a container home.
Boy, I'm not convinced about those cars. Who's gonna insure it? Check if it's insurable first.
And Jay was saying, Esther, are you being for real?
You know? Check if it's insurable. I don't know, guys. I tell you. Somebody who used to live Zavon, you have to be quiet. We're online. As someone who used to live in a board house, you see? And then upgrade to concrete house, you see? I don't see why I would want. And for us, board houses are temporary housing now, right? Why would I want to revert myself to go live in a container? For what reason? I do believe Jamaicans aspire for their block and steel homes. These homes are insurable. That's the first thing. The insurance on the property. Because remember, you have to spend how much millions now. Is it insurable? Temporary container houses to me are temporary and should only be used when you don't own the land. So if you don't own the land, yes, you put a container house because you can lift it up and move it if the owner comes back for the land. But certainly if you own your land, everybody, you want to build a block and steel house. Which is why I'm doing these little snippets with you to show you how you're going to work out the quantity and the cost. Right?
Oh, we don't own, you should aspire to build a block and steel wall. Look at the school.
Look at the school. All you don't own it yourself.
You should aspire to build
a block and steel wall, at least. Oh, we can't beat them. Some of them full of ambition.
I know.
I think that was more driven for safety reasons, though.
I know, and they're using our good taxpayers' money. I hope they don't have to take down the wall.
No, Tony, that would be the heights of madness. Take down which wall? You're crazy.
I hope it don't breach. It was boundary issues they were checking it for.
You crazy?
There's so many things happening in that article.
Them could have never go do that because they must have a survey diagram. And somebody must have checked these boundaries. But I hear part of it says that the church is across 2 lots or something like that. So nobody was checking. And government, why does have the land them eagles up? Come on, man, do better than that.
Discriminant says many Jamaicans are unable to engage in meaningful dialogue without resulting in some form of violence,
True,
unrest, or standoff. Good thing the parish stepped in before big war started.
True. You're right. That was one of the things that I thought ingrained in us is the inability to solve problems, to dialogue. Ask the next, what is your solution to this? This is a challenge. What's the solution? How we get to the next level? For some reason, we can't seem to dialogue. I don't know why.
I know, and
especially when it comes to land issues.
But even regular things, because yesterday I was walking on the sidewalk. There were 3 persons in front of me having a discussion while we were walking, right? You know how the road is, because right by the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just walking behind them slowly, right? Because you can't step out the way the sidewalk is. If you step out on the road, you're literally in the road,
right? Mm-hmm.
Right? And so I was walking behind them slowly while they were having their discussion. And your car wasn't too far away. And the lady stopped her conversation to argue with me and asked me, why am I walking behind them slowly? Why don't I just walk out in the road and go about my business? I didn't even answer because it just felt like such an unnecessary thing.
Me the answer. Me just say why you not step out in the road and make me walk. You step out there.
But it's that type of conversation that would have probably led to a fist fight in the road.
Which fist fight? From me open my mouth, shall step out on the road and give me way. But because you look soft, that's why she challenge you too. Someone like me, she wouldn't challenge me. Because she see my screw face, she not even open her mouth.
Me, I just don't engage them.
Yeah, and these are the kind of things. So what you did, you actually step out in the road to suit them?
No.
Oh, you just never answer them?
I didn't answer them. I was almost near your car anyway.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, this was in Spanish Town.
Yes, I'm telling you, if I had gone on the road, I would literally be in the road.
I know where you are.
That road is very busy, so I decided to just walk slowly behind them because the car was just right there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's a Spanish Town. And what I find, to depend on where you are, you get a different type of a Jamaican. I kid you not, guys. You get a different type of Jamaican. That's why you have to understand how to navigate among them. And but Tony, depend on what to. In some cases, you can't back down. You have to let them understand that you're not a pushover. So they must just keep it moving. Xavier, I need it to be very quiet.
So Dion says the church will be limited to certain activities such as funeral services, not on the school compound. Okay.
Why would they be limited?
And Nicole is asking you, any new gated communities coming up in St. Anne?
There's a general resentment. I think you missed a comment there. I think I saw. Esther is saying,
oh, there's a general resentment by academia towards Christians, just like in America. Why? But church is such a big part of Jamaica.
Academia, I don't think that is with Jamaicans though. Most of our schools are started by churches. The Anglican schools, the Catholic schools, a lot of them were churches. Our church.
I know, and every school you pray and worship every morning.
At least 1 hour every morning.
Before anything else.
Before anything happens. So I don't think that's generally here, but I think it's the whole.
I think it's more the land that's causing the challenge.
The land and our disposition towards always wanting to claim things that we don't own when it comes to land.
I don't know, willingness to share.
Yeah, no, we have a serious challenge with that. Yeah, and this thing about we've been a long time, I mean, first sit there, We have that. Jamaicans have that. Like all the people that might claim the sidewalk.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm. All right. So the church will be limited to certain activities, just general service, not on the school compound. But we listen. This is not. This can be a challenge. This which school I went to. Where the school was right there and the church was there. I went to a funeral. This is a school up on Shortwood Road. What's it called?
Is it Shortwood?
Shortwood. What's it called? Stella Maris.
Stella Maris.
The church is right there, and the school is right there. The church and school share parking. Isn't that a challenge? As I say, you might want to, where the kids are, you might want to put a little chain link fence around that with a gate so that they're not running out into the parking lot and so on. But that should, I don't know, I can't see why this is an issue. I cannot even see why it made the Gleaner. It's not news. That should not be news. Right?
A lot of things that make news these days, you're like, why is this news? I think news are not a news.
All right. Any new gated in St. Anne? One came up, man. One is in Three Hills. I got something today on one. Got something in Three Hills today. Somebody sent it to me.
Ready.
It is, he sent it to me today, asking me about the price. So yes, they had open houses today actually. Where's the address? It's somewhere in lot 7, 3 Hills, St. Mary, Serenity Hill it's called.
Oh, they wanted St. Anne, Mom. But there was something in St. Anne.
There's St. Anne they wanted. Hold on. St. Anne.
What about that? Anne? The one with the 3-bedroom houses.
Where? I don't know about Milford Ridge. They came out recently.
No, the one past us and go up the road.
Past us?
Yeah. On Breadnut. Didn't something come
Oh, yes. Wow. That development don't cement in my brain yet. I don't know the name. Every day I have to go check it out. I might just have to go check it out because I have to go up into the area to talk to 2 people who want to lease some land to do some farming. So I have to go up in that area on maybe Wednesday. So I will try and drive up a little further and see what's going on up there.
Mm-hmm. So
yes, there is a development at Breadnut Hill.
Kimani says, if I'm in the house buying process and the valuation come in below sale price, what is my next move if the sale agreement already signed?
Ouch. You can try and negotiate, but you already signed the sale agreement. So the seller can say no, or you can say no and cancel the agreement. Just depends on how far in the agreement you are. So you need to read to see what your out is. Also, it depends on how far to the, let's just say you're buying the place for 12 million and the valuation is 11.5. I would probably still go ahead and buy it at the 12 million because in maybe 18 months that value catch up with it.
Okay.
You understand? Besides, why do you need this property? Is this a property that you genuinely feel that you will want, you'll enjoy it, and all of that? You know, so what is your reason for buying the property? But you can try and negotiate with the seller. What the lawyers will probably tell you that is that if it gone out to the stamp office already, and the stamp office stamp it already, then them have a little challenge drawing that back and doing the corrections and all of that. But it's not that it cannot be done. It can be done.
Just takes a little longer.
Yeah. If they have stamped it already. If they have stamped it already, and the owner, and you talk to the owner and they agree to maybe reduce the price, then you can do a new agreement.
So it's 2 options. Negotiate the price to the new valuation price, or pay the higher price.
Yeah.
Out of pocket.
Yeah. But I can tell you though that if because we have had that situation where selling property, right? I remember selling our property at Waterford. Even recent, we have had that. Told about 3 properties.
Yeah.
Came in below.
Mine was the weirdest one where the seller had a valuation, the buyer had a valuation, and they were like $10 million in difference in value.
Jeez.
I was like,
so there is no meeting in the middle. So I'm trying to remember how much was the Waterford one. We were asking 12 million, and the buyer came back with a valuation for 9 million.
Yeah.
And we said no. I told my seller no, because I am selling those Waterfords for 12 million. And this is a similar Waterford, 3 beds, 1 bath. So I'm saying no to that value. So we bounced the value and we put it back out to market, and we got the 12 million.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it depends. Sometimes you do get a bad valuation. I can tell you that. We have been having those of late. I don't know what's going on. So we had it in Portmore twice.
Mm-hmm.
Twice in Portmore since year. And we bounced it, put it back on the market, and we got the price. So I'm not sure what's happening, but it's funny you should say that now, because yes, since year we have been having some of that, which I find, I don't know why that's happening now, but we're having that challenge. But you yourself can search the value. You can check out houses, go online and look for houses selling similar, especially if it's a scheme house. But talk to the seller. If it's not that much, then you could probably still go through. If it's not too detrimental to you getting the loan and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But some sellers will, my sellers are like that. My sellers will say, Claudia, I agree with you. Ain't that happening. Move it along. God, they're not doing the work. It's me doing the work. Yeah.
You had that with your St. Thomas property too.
Which one that St. Thomas? St. Thomas. St. Thomas, yes. Yeah, that's been happening of late. I don't know why though. Anyway.
Future says, I'm building my house and my neighbor is a pastor who is building a church in front of his house. Sunday morning, not gonna be normal.
Is he allowed to do that, Future? You must be living the deep rural bushes, man, Future. Because I can't imagine any.
But the church is normally in the community, Mom. What are you talking about?
No, but it can't be a residential community. You have a church in front.
Why not? Churches are in the communities. Look at all the churches you know. They're right beside houses.
Yeah, but this is a modern time now. You shouldn't be able to get away with that. That was back in the day when you never have so much zoning and all of that going on. So, but again, nobody wants to take on the church. Yes, Future, it won't be normal for you. Not only Sunday morning, every day of the week. Trust me.
Future says Sunday morning not going to be normal, but Saturday night not going to be normal because I'm going to play my music.
Future. Oh my
God. Jay says single file walking if it's a narrow walkway. Jay's Jamaica with them.
Then people that don't have no discipline. Not about it. I think with what has happened is the school has let us down. I think our school have dropped their standards. There's no training. People need to be trained. It's like when you train a puppy, people need to be trained.
I think training has faltered in the Jamaican society. I think our schools need to do more training.
Yeah, I need to do more.
I do remember when just coming up at Woolmer's Prep, we used to practice walking in single file along the corridors when we're going out to play, everything.
We're going to the canteen.
Yeah, we're going to the canteen.
Our schools, them busy at about boundary dispute and what.
And I remember the police police used to come like every 3 months or so and teach us how to cross the road and watch out for signals. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, I have a serious breakdown, man. Serious breakdown. But I noticed the teachings are not safe now, but well, Xander mostly about the stop, the cross, all of that, because I hear him talking about pedestrian crossing, the lights, what is stop and the green, what is green. I don't hear him talk about the amber, but he definitely know the stop and the green. So that is a school thing as well, I've noticed. And apparently they train them to put up their hands to say stop. There's something going on with that as well, because we're getting that too. Stop.
That's what you do when you're crossing the road.
Oh, that's it. Well, them are used in other context. All right. So,
Farrell says I am not from Chatwood Road.
Where is that?
I'm not sure. The Buffalo says, Miss Claudia, do they have zoning restrictions and laws there?
Yes, we do.
We do. We have a whole bunch.
A whole heap. Some zones are institutional, which you heard mentioned in the article, which would be for schools and so on, universities and so on, training centers. You do have farming zones, you have residential zones, industrial, commercial. Yes, we do have them. Persons ignore them though, but we do have them.
No, man, I think
how you know it hits you is when you're trying to do a development and it hits you. So let us say you have a property and it's zoned farming, but you know have to go and get that changed if you want to do residential.
Okay.
And if you want, and vice versa. No, not vice versa. Because you can't literally farm on any piece of land. But let's just say you want to do.
So you could farm on this in front of us?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
So suppose you want to do commercial, but yours is zoned farming, then you need to go and get that changed. All right? And you might have a challenge getting it changed. Because I do want us to do the farming, guys. Did you all hear about this worm story today? I see something circulating about we're going to be eating worms.
Well, if you don't do the farming, that's what you're going to eat.
That's what you're going to eat, right? Tony, that's why I'm saying it. You see, Ecosted and Riverstead have to come to the forefront, guys. Because we must. I'm driving even through Ebony the day before yesterday. Is which you were coming from Spanish Town? No, yesterday. And this vast area that them say is green area. One little saucer building, 2 little football posts, and the rest of it are saucer grass. So them have to cut every month. Please. If you look at the map now, that area is probably a good
acre.
Which acre? A good 3. Wouldn't be surprised if a 5 acre.
5 acres. Wow.
Seriously, it's just too much, guys. In the we need to bring back the communal farming, which is part of the whole Riverstead and Ecosted thrust, and we need to drive our communities to use the land to produce food. Right? How are you going to exist if you Tony, when my video there when I eat the mango off of Riverstead.
You're eating a mango?
What? Not a mango, apple.
Oh.
An apple. An apple. Just I remember, I don't even post it in the group yet. That's to post it. I think I sent it to Shauna to post it because I couldn't figure out how to post it. But I'm telling you, people, Jamaicans, we're not doing enough. See me here? Post this one, Tony. May I eat an apple off a Riverstead?
How am I going to post it?
I don't know. You know, what's up not here, so?
This is your computer.
You said that like, this is your computer. It ain't no good, you know me?
I'll see if I can get it on. And
so we are blessed to have a country where we have water, we have land, we have sunshine. There's absolutely no to be eating worms. We don't have no excuse. When them other country, they might have excuse, not us. We have sunshine all year round. We have how many rivers, underground water. I mean, even at Riverstead, they have a well underground. We say the water run like trouble. I'm quarreling with NWC to fix it. So they finally fixed it, Tony.
Oh, it's fixed?
Yes, finally fixed. Because they were like flooding the place with water, you see. So we have water, sunshine all year round, land dropping out of our eyes and ears and mouth. We don't short a lot. Everybody in Jamaica can't tell me about them family land, them family land, them family land. You told me? Everybody, we're not sure. So we need to.
While I'm waiting for that to load, you have a few more questions.
Questions. Hi guys. Do you have any fixer upper? I have a fixer upper coming up in Cristiano. Yeah, a fixer upper coming up in Cristiano. Price is gonna be 8 million. Look out for it. Seems like a very big house too. Big enough for 8 million.
Jasmine says, ladies, are you familiar with the Paradisia development where the realtor Maureen Watson is saying it was a scam and she lost 75K US? Paradisio. Where's Paradisio? That's the same one on the main?
No. She said Paradisio.
I don't
know. Let me Google Paradisio. I don't know that development. Paradisio.
No, I don't know it.
Where is it? And she's a realtor and she gets scammed. Ouch. Paradisio.
Where is Paradisio?
Yeah, where is Paradisio? Development. Nothing is coming up. Only thing I know is Paradisiac, which is in St. Anna on the Main. I don't know a Paradisio.
Discriminant is saying, I don't understand how the government allows people to claim street corners and pavements, and many of them don't even pay tax. There's a serious entitlement problem that needs to be addressed.
Why? That is a cultural thing. You know, when I was in England on training, we went to London and the street was closed off, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
So in the middle, they had the vendors back to back. So you could walk on the sidewalk. So you could either go in the store or you talk to the vendor, but the whole place was closed off to vehicular traffic. I don't know if they still have that. Somebody tell me. Somewhere in London, I don't know the name. So I bought most of my stuff and ship it back to Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep thinking, why they don't do that downtown Kingston? Mm-hmm. Like on a Saturday and even on a Sunday. Close certain streets, like Princess Streets and those offshoot roads, to vehicular traffic.
Like Orange Street.
Yes, all of them. Close them off to vehicular traffic. And just allow the hand cart men to push the goods to the people's cars in the car park. Mm-hmm. So all delivery, there should be no delivery on a Saturday or a Sunday, right? Mm-hmm. Or maybe even on a Wednesday as well. Close to vehicular traffic. Have the vendors in the middle of the street, back to back. Me, the pedestrian, walking on the sidewalk. So I can either go into a store or I can talk to the vendor who is in the street on my side. Because the vendors are on back to back in the middle of the street.
Gotcha.
I thought of that simple solution years ago. Even when them quarreling every Christmas, whole heap of vendors come out them on the street and so I'm saying close the streets, close the road to vehicular traffic, and make the people them do the shopping, even halfway through. Mm-hmm. Just reroute us around it. There should be you should have, I would call them market days or vendors days, where the persons come, register, them get a spot, me park my car in the car park, I'm walk, go get my goods. If I have too much goods, which is what I normally do when I was peddling stuff from downtown and selling. The cart man is the man is where I would put the good on the cart and then carry it to my car, put it down, and when them time the town I run different. And you could have put on your goods right here, car foot, and nobody not touch that. You come on your seat and you load up your car.
Okay.
Right? So I don't know what's causing all of this, but we what happens is that we have to understand. Everybody have to understand that we all must live in this country. Some people can't live and I extract everything from the country while other persons are suffering. We can't have that. We have to find a way for us to harmonize, right? Now, why I feel passionate about this, my father and my auntie used to sell a Spanish Town Road. I was one of those kids running up and down on Spanish Town Road while my father and my auntie them at Igla Spanish Town Road. Used to sell these 90s and underwear and so on that them saw, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember my auntie used to wear like a gold bangles. Let me see if you're gone, Puff.
We were connected directly.
Think you're back.
Yeah, I think we're back.
Are we back? Give us a thumbs up. And a man jerk my bangle and take it from me. Jerk my hand. I'm gonna feel my hand jerk and the bangle gone, man. The man was swift. Never ever stopped me. Just grab my bangle out of me and one pull and the bangle gone. And I went to my aunt. I was crying about it, and man, she just get up and walk down the lane. Claudia, sit down right there, so don't move. Sit down, don't move. And she walked down the lane, and maybe within 30 minutes or so, the bangle come back. A man bring it back. I said sorry, and she never even answer. She just
the auntie and respecting the area.
yeah. And give me put up my bangle on my hand. I walk up and down my bangle all time to my big. So we used to sell in the markets too. So we were at Spanish Town Road, I remember, on weekends, and the Falmouth Market and the South Market. I remember those three markets, right? So I actually learned to sell just from being in those markets. When I'm at those markets, when I got a little bigger now, I remember my father would give me the belts to sell.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't go and walk around belt, $10, belt.
Children are still doing that today.
They're still doing that. Walk up and down and sell the belt. But me did smart, man. Belt at $10, but me I sell for 12. Give my father the $10, me have $2. So I was one of these
parents sales.
Yeah, I was one of these kids. I always have money to it because of that that intuition in me that
oh, you want to buy the book, then you read the book, then
read. Yeah, man, that's all of that, man. Money and something more difficult for me, like I know how to spend that. But guys, we have to live. It's one country for all of us, not for some of us, right? I don't mind vending on the streets. When I'm walking, in particular, I don't have a vehicle and I'm walking, come off a bus halfway tree. Lady, I sell like an orange tree planting, tree apple, Tony, remember? You can just take up that, get that, walking at the bus, stepping at the bus, you're good. You know, if you go too far, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the vending needs to be orderly. Needs to be orderly. You can't just be all over the place.
Well, you like when they're all over the place.
Yeah, I like when I'm at every point. Right? Like even guys, I tell you, even when I'm driving, I say, "Oh, I need some water." Just pull up on somebody on the sidewalk, come buy water. I stop me car if I come up going to a pharmacy, a supermarket, or whatever. So it's part of our. Do I want to say culture? I don't know. Somebody gonna bash me because I say sidewalk, street, our culture. But that is a culture when me grew up in. I used to step on the street, the sidewalk. I said, "Let my auntie and my father." So I'm used to that. But we must find a way for us to work together.
Okay. All right. So we need to get to these questions faster so you can get to the lesson.
Oh yes.
Kimani says, can you recommend a good valuer?
Yes. Name now. Beating
Oliver?
me off the top of my head. Hold on, let's go jump in on my phone, Tony. She's gonna want the number two. Um, Alice Peter. What's the name of the company? What's the name of the valuer himself now?
Connell.
So you have Connell Steer. Connell Steer. Give it a number. Tony, type it as a talk. Connell Steer. You contact. I think he's with Alice Peter 990-8618. 990-8618.
911? 918?
990.
Oh, 990.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that 8618? No, I don't even see him. Richard Oliver. Disappeared messages on Richard Oliver. 383-4474.
Hold on, there was a fast.
383-4474. Let me remove these disappearing messages.
383?
Tony, come on.
I said don't go so fast.
Come on, man. You know what to type in at school? 383-4474. I wonder if Connell Steer number right. Let me get that going. Connell. So I've worked with these gentlemen from afar. Because I know I'm not around when they're doing the values. Because the valuations have to be done independently. Watch out. How this gone, so? What's that mean here? What's that? This? All right. What's another question? I think you got two,
Good
right?
afternoon. Truly appreciate your work. My mother has a home in a gated community that has handed over the maintenance to another company. Apologies, the new company has hiked up the service charge. Is there a leg that she can stand on to oppose this?
Well, they should have called a meeting to discuss that with you guys, the owners.
The homeowners association?
Yeah, and show you present the budget and show you where they are, what is it they're paying for, and so on. If you don't agree to, if most of the homeowners don't agree to some of the items, then they could ask them to drop those items so that that's not forming part of the part of the budget and get it down. Right?
So it's what? Something would be in the bylaws that said X amount of homeowners have to agree to this for it to move forward?
If enough people make noise, they can't
Okay.
stop it. It's just a matter of enough of them making noise. Hand it over to a maintenance company. Yeah. So the maintenance company works for profit, right? So that's another thing. Once you hand over to these maintenance, remember they work for profit, you know. But you see, it is difficult for a homeowners association executives and volunteers to really carry out all these functions that are required to run this thing properly. Which is why they do have to hire from the outside persons, independent of the scheme, to keep things going, because it is a lot. It is just a lot coming at them.
Future says, I will definitely have to get a second property for when church I keep.
Yes, Future.
Hurricane says, which parish is Riverstead in?
St. Anne. Discovery Bay. Ask me about. Tell me on WhatsApp, Hurricane Gilbert. I'll send you the info.
Jamaican Butte says, I have 3 meter space between me and my neighbor at Camelot where the drain runs. Can someone use it to plant fruit trees? There is already 2 coconut trees there.
You have a 3-meter space that is 9 between you and your neighbor where the drain runs. Listen to what you said, you know. The drain runs. You are not allowed to interfere with any drain channel.
So I'm trying
It's
to
not
understand.
it's not a green space, it's a drain channel. So if it's a green area where it's just social land, because we do have these areas in the communities, right? They're left for watershed, they're left for oxygen and all of that environmental going on, right?
But what I'm trying to
So
understand.
you can go on the green spaces and plant those things, but not in the drain channel, not in the drain way.
So, Mommy, but I still don't get it. So, if this is the land, is that the drain channel is this? So she's on one side and the neighbor's on the other side. So there's 3 meters here and then 3 meters here.
No, 3 meters in all, which is 9 feet roughly.
Oh.
9 feet between the two of them.
So left and right of the drain?
9 feet from her edge of her boundary to this edge. So the whole of this is 9 feet.
So where's the drain?
Drain channel. So the one apparently it's not a concrete drain. It's probably just an earth drain. Is it just an earth drain or a concrete drain? I don't think they would make a concrete drain 9 feet. It's probably just an earth drain. But you're not supposed to plant anything in the earth drain. What you will do is you will slow down the movement of the water, and then the water will start backing up, and causing problems up the line or down the line. No, up the line it's going to cause a problem. So no, you're not allowed to plant. Go, you can plant on the green areas though.
Wayne, Lexi says hello. Hi Lexi. And Wayne says, if I'm not mistaken, Paradisia is in Westmoreland. I don't know it.
I wonder if it's that land development that we went and looked at one time. Up on a hill. What nice pretty roads. How does she lose money if it's that? Because as far as I know, the roads were already built.
Everything was done. I think people had their titles that some people were reselling.
Yeah, because we went to look at somebody who was reselling. Unless they had a
unless it's not Paradisia that.
Unless they had another
phase
where they were building houses. I don't know.
Future says maybe I can rent to someone who is attending that church.
Yes, Future. Make it work for you. Think it through, yeah.
Jasmine says, not sure what part of Jamaica Paradisia is. I sent the info to WhatsApp. She posted it on TikTok.
Send it to my WhatsApp.
My WhatsApp.
Turn this on. You have another question?
Discriminant says Maureen Watts is a well-known, high-profile realtor based near the Grill. If she says it's a scam, it must be, and sounds serious. Where was the article of her saying that? Ain't it?
No, hold this on.
When seeking to find the source of a specific statement, it's crucial to be precise. Therefore, to give you the most accurate response, I need to know who her refers to.
Your phone is playing, Mom, not my phone. And Maureen says, Claudia, you have apple trees at Riverstead?
Man, one apple tree, must say, right at the front, actually, by the Water Commission well. We have lots of fruit trees on the property already. I'm trying to figure out who. You can't play the TikTok right now, but you can part 3 being scammed by Paradise. Cookie developer Jude Anderson. I think we should listen to it first and then we can dissect it afterwards.
Paradise.
Did she put anything in there? Is there anything in a bio or anything that you could read?
I know. I am the wrong person to ask because I don't know how TikTok works.
I don't know it work either. But I look
Do
at
your
it
job.
out. You have apple trees. Yes, Norma. Bearing too. Well, it's one apple tree, Mr. Norma. But you know, we have apple, we have definitely breadfruit, ackee, all of those things. And I saw the apple tree first, you know. Oh, Tony, I think I have a picture too. I saw it first, you know, walk past it, and I said to myself, so oh, the tree and a beer. That's what I said in my mind, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then one mind said, look good, man, look good. But I'm looking, but I still never see it. So it was somebody else who was with me at the time. Here's a picture. Who saw it.
I don't know why you keep sharing it with me now. This is not my computer.
You put the download the video yet? All right, so we need to go to the lesson. You have any more questions? Yes, Norma. So yes, I have a big apple tree. Begging for somebody to eat the apples. Apple them a drop off of the tree and all right.
I think cows eat apples.
I don't know, but the cows weren't there that day. The round concrete drain is under the ground, which comes outside the boundary wall. No, you can't plant anything there. So.
Antoinette says, good afternoon.
You can't plant anything there. You're gonna disturb the concrete drain because the roots of those trees might find them way in between some weakness where where those concrete drains join or come together and start to cause blockage.
But you said there's 2 trees there already.
Yeah, but 2 trees, but leave it alone, I guess.
Good afternoon, ladies. Do you know of any land selling for 2 million, 2.5, or a fixer up a house for 79 million?
Where? We have a fixer up coming up for 8 million.
Manchester.
All right, Tony, get to the lesson. It's 4:13. You finished with the questions?
Let's see. I think Jamaicans can make it in Jamaica. Just have a good business plan.
Just stay in school long enough, future, you make it.
Herbert says, I'm watching from
Leedsburg, Florida. Thank you. You should be warm and sunny, just like us. And Norma is saying something. I just saw a video. Oh, you saw the video I posted, Norma? Yeah, me eating. All right, let me get to the lesson. Tony says she can't download the video. But Riverstead is coming along. If you still want to be a part of the Riverstead community, now that I'm telling you you're going to be eating worms in foreign. Now is a good time to cement your interest and your share and be a part of greatness in Jamaica. So when you get tired of eating worms in foreign, Tony, get to the slideshow. Then you can actually just dial that back, jump on a plane and say, no worms around here. Come eat apple with Miss Davis and Tony. You Tony?
Mm-hmm.
You need to get to the slideshow.
I know, but I have to make sure it's sharing first.
But that don't stop you from putting it on slideshow.
It does, because then if it's not sharing, I can't get back.
Well.
Okay, it's sharing, and now I'm gonna go to slideshow.
All right, everybody, I hope you have your pencils and your books out. All right, so I've dubbed this the ABC Guide to Building a Block and Steel House. So that's what I'm going to be calling it from now on. And look at this beautiful house. I think I'm going to be designing something like this in Tony hand so that we can build this. I love it. I love it. I love it. So the fencing simple, landscaping simple.
I would do it without the front fence.
I like it. I remember last week, so just a quick recap. We looked at this floor plan and we were trying to calculate just the perimeter, just the outside walls, right? So we know we're going to use these measurements still going forward. So the width of the building is 26, length of the building is 45. So you know that this particular building Have a width at the top and a width at the bottom, or should I say a width at the front and a width at the back, right? Length on two sides. For this particular one, the width of the foundation is 1 feet 6 inches, which is 18 inches, and the depth of the foundation is 3 feet, and the height of the concrete that we want in the foundation is actually 1 foot. So again, recapping, we calculated the total external wall foundation length. We added all 4 sides and we came up with 142 feet. So remember that measurement, that length, that calculation, 142 feet. We also calculated the total square feet of the external wall foundation by multiplying the length of the building by the width of the foundation. And that was 142 feet by 1.5 feet, which is 18 inches, which gives us 213 square feet. And we use measurements to calculate the total cubic yard of concrete for the external wall foundation by multiplying the square feet times the height of the concrete and divided by 27. Now, why I insist that you put the height of the concrete? Because sometimes your concrete height is going to differ from 1 foot. Because this is only 1, we never needed to multiply 213 by 1. But I put it there so that you have it in your head. So if they say they want your concrete height to be 2 feet, you know that you must multiply 213 times 2 and divide it by 27 to get the cubic yard. So in this case, we got 8 cubic yard of concrete. This week, we're looking to calculate the total rebars in a foundation. What are the rebars? So from a picture, you know that the rebars is steel. So rebar, short for reinforcement bar or reinforcing bar, known when masked as reinforcing steel or steel reinforcement. Or in Jamaica, we just say steel. 1 ton of steel, 2 ton of steel. Right. So it's a tension device added to concrete to form reinforced concrete and reinforced masonry structures to strengthen and aid the concrete under tension. Now, if there's no steel in the concrete, it is not reinforced concrete. It's only reinforced concrete when you put steel in the concrete, right? That's why the steel is known as steel reinforcement. Now, why an tension device like steel? Because of the tensile force. So a tensile force is like pulling on a rubber band. When you pull on it, the rubber band stretches, right? If you pull too hard, it's going to break, it's going to snap, right? So tensile strength force is when a material is being stretched or pulled apart. For example, in a tug and war rope, you pull, one person pulling this way, one pulling that way. If you don't have something to something in it that's strong enough. So if that rope don't have something strong in it like a steel, the rope is gonna burst because the concrete, which is a rope, can't manage tensile force that is coming against it, right? No. So ladies, so imagine this is one wife number 1, wife number 2, our ex-wife and present wife, and the rope is the husband. Our ex-wife pulling on this side, current wife pulling on the other side. Now, ladies, if that man don't, the rope is his man, you know. If him don't have some steel in him, you know, him going to break apart. The same thing with the concrete, right? Has to have some steel. So if you know a man don't have those steel in him, don't pull him apart. So don't play in a tug and war, right? You're gonna lose him, all right? Similar men, you know. Don't play in a tug and war game with your wife, right? All right. So why an attention device again? So concrete, like the rubber band, is not very good at handling tensile forces. If it experiences too much pulling force, it can crack and break. That's why we reinforce concrete with steel bars. All right. So the underside of a bridge experiences tensile forces because of the weight of the vehicles. So as the weight of the vehicle is coming down on this, coming down on the bridge, it is doing this, right? It's doing this. It's pulling apart. Just imagine you have a round rubber ball and you're squashing on it and it pulls apart. So the bars is what helps cracking from forming, right? Because the steel in it, the rebars in it, the steel in it, remember, the steel in it is very good. You can't pull a steel. If you take up a steel, a 1 bar rebar steel, you can't. If you notice, you can't pull it apart because that's the strength. It's good at tensile forces, so that is why it is in the concrete. All right. Again, why we add the tension device? Because steel is strong in tension, meaning it can handle pulling forces without breaking. By embedding steel rebars inside the concrete, we create reinforced concrete, which can resist both compression strength and pulling, right? So that's why I put the steel in there. That's one reason. Another reason is shear force. So shear force is a sliding force that acts in opposite direction. Look at my hand. That way, while this one coming this way, right? It acts in opposite directions on the material. Imagine holding a thick book with both hands and pushing one hand forward while pulling the other back. The pages inside the book try to slide past each other, similar to how shear forces in concrete work. Now, concrete, remember what I just said, concrete is strong in compression, but weak in shear, right? So compression is this way. Concrete is strong this way, but weak in shear, right? Remember, so when a beam or column carries a heavy load, shear forces can cause parts of the concrete to crack and separate.
That's why you can't have it over long stretches.
What?
The concrete.
It can, which you mean a beam?
Yeah.
Suspended. So suspended means it's off the ground.
Yeah.
That would be called a beam. And you have to have the proper steel reinforcement in it. And also, you must have reinforcement using a column from below coming up. So, which is why they have those. All right, so the types of forces on this concrete, you have the tensile force pulling stuff up, pulling it apart like this. You have the compressive force. So concrete is good with that. Steel is good with tensile force. It can't pull the steel apart. And shear force, which is this. Steel is good with that too. So we need the reinforced concrete inside of the steel of the structure. So this is why now we're looking at how do we calculate how much of this steel or rebar goes into the concrete to reinforce it, because this is a very integral component in block and steel building. That's why it named block and steel building. Without this steel work, everything that comes fail. All right, concrete is not good like that without the steel. All right, now can you see this diagram? Can you see my mouse? I want them can see my mouse. Basically, we're at this level now. We're in the foundation. So we're only looking at the foundation. We're not looking up here so yet. Next week, we're going to go up here because we'll calculate these steel standing up in the air.
So we're looking at
the below ground level. Yes, we're looking at the steel in the ground now, right? So what does it say? This particular thing. So when I was looking at it deeply today, I'm thinking to myself, all right, reinforced concrete footing is 600 mm wide, which is 2 feet for those of you like me who learn feet and inches, right? It says, on this, it says 600 times 300 mm. So if I'm looking at this, I would say, okay, I need to be 600 mm wide, which is 2 feet wide, and 300 mm deep, which is 1 foot deep. That's my reinforced concrete footing, which is just this area here in the dotted. But I'm looking closely at the diagram and I'm seeing where my width is only saying 450, not 600. So really and truly, the drawing is saying I should be 1 foot 6 inches wide, which is 18 inches. But the wording is saying I'm supposed to be 2 feet. So therefore, what does this mean? Because look, it comes end to end, you know. So it's not as if he's saying that my steel work must be 1/6. He's saying end to end, which is the entire width of the foundation. So on the drawing, my foundation is 18 inches, but here it's saying 2 feet. I'm going to work with 18 inches because I know that I'm only laying 6-inch blocks. We do 2 feet wide foundations when we're laying 8 inches blocks. All right. So let's go. It's also saying it has 13 mm, which are half-inch steel bars for strength, and 10 mm 3/8 links placed every 200 mm, which is 8 inches apart to hold the bars together. If you don't understand this as we go through, you'll understand it.
That's
right?
The links is the thing that goes like this?
Yeah. So it comes up and it hooks at the end. So at the bottom, and then it hooks like this, right?
Okay.
And the steel is laying flat in between it and tie, and it's tied. And it's 8 inches apart. The concrete mix is 1-2-3 ratio, which is cement, sand, gravel. We'll get to that later down as to how you calculate this and how you measure this and how you mix this. But that's not for right now. What we're doing today is steel. Also, before the concrete is poured, they want me to do a 2-inch blinding layer, which is this. So you see this here? So it says 2-inch all-purpose blinding. So I usually use gravel to blind off the dirt. Remember, it's dirt. When you dig, it's dirt, right? So the gravel gives us some level of stability, also give us some draining if necessary, if it comes to that in the foundation. So they want us to do that. All right. So remember the drawing, remember the measurements. Now, your standard rebar length is 29 feet. That information you need to know. So the length of your steel, when you get it from the hardware, is 29 feet. Now, I've tried to give you a drawing to explain what does this steel work look like in the foundation. So imagine that the length of the building is actually 142 feet in length. We know that this comprises of 2 sides, a front and a back, but we're just imagining that it's actually 142 in length, right? And we know that it is 18 inches wide, right? So if you look now, you will see the pink lines represent the longitudinal bars that lie down in the foundation. And those are 1/2-inch bars. And the pink ones represent the 3/8 steels that make up the link. And these are 8 inches apart on center. All right, so you need to remember that. So there are 3 longitudinal bars in the foundation, and then the links are spaced 8 inches apart, and each of these are tied with our binding wire. So this is something now. So if it is you're the person who's supervising this, you're to ensure that every single one of these where these intersect is tied with the binding wire. If you get a sloppy steel man, some of these will be missing, and you need to ensure. Now, I check this before they put it down in the ground. So when they're on the bench, that is when I check this steel work. I don't wait till it go down in the ground because my eye is too far now and I can't see it. So I check it before it goes down into the ground. That is when you must check it. All right. And you make sure that this, well, this is showing flat, but this actually have a hook end. So it's 18, and then each side hook up 4 inches so that bend it, right? Because it have more, it can't just lie down flat. So them need it bend for create resistance and friction in the concrete. All right. So you must remember to maintain. Now in Jamaica we use a 2 to 3. Overseas I tend to use a 3-inch minimum concrete cover from the soil. So when you put this down, is this back? Look, if you notice, so this is my matting. This is my link standing up. No, you're looking at the links because it's in the cross section. You can't see the mat. You can't see the longitudinal. So you're seeing the longitudinal, but you're only seeing the end of the steel. So look, you see this little dot here? 1, 2, 3. This is a longitudinal going away from you this way because you're standing on the side looking towards the foundation, right? And then this is the links turn up, see? come and it make a bend. Now, if you notice, the concrete is below it. So which is why in the foundation, you will see the men catching it up with stone, because this steel work must not sit on the ground, everybody. It must not sit on the ground. They have to cut it up with stone. They use stone and cut it up. They're trying to get a 2 to 3 inches clearance off the dirt so that the concrete goes under the steel. Because if the concrete does not go under the steel and this steel come in contact with moisture in the dirt, the steel is going to rot and you're going to have failure. All right? So again, if you're the supervisor for this, one, you want to make sure that tie every single intersection where those 3/8 and half-inch steel meet. You also want to make sure that them, you know, I've switched over into Jamaican language. Make sure them catch up the steel work. Raise the matting 2 to 3 inches off the ground because you want the concrete to go under there. Also, if you look, this is calling for all-purpose blinding. You can either use a thinner concrete mix to do this before, as well as you can use gravel, before you pour the real concrete. All right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I hope everybody understands this. And of course, these longitudinal bars must be spaced evenly. So don't have some catch up close to each other and the next one over so far apart, right? Ensure that this is spaced evenly. All right, another thing I need to talk to you about is the lap length. Now, the steel comes in 29 feet. Therefore, some lapping is going on here because this is 142 length. I think in the diagram that we looked at, we're gonna have lapping on the long side because that is 42 feet and it only comes in 29. So you need to know how much them supposed to lap your steel, because when you run out of the 29 feet, you don't want to just drop the steel beside it. So no, because you're going to have failure in here, so right? You want to lap the steel. I want to see my hands. You want to lap it.
By how much? A foot? 2 foot?
That's what I'm going to tell you now. Good question, Tony. So for half inch, so here's the formula, guys. Simple formula. For half inch, the formula is 40 times the bar diameter. The bar diameter. The bar diameter, you know what a diameter is. It's just the little diameter. So the bar is half inch, which is the diameter of the bar, right? So if this is a steel, this is the diameter.
From right to left of it?
No, the diameter.
Oh.
The diameter, around. No. Circumference is around. Yes, you're right. The diameter left to right of it. Okay. Or this way to do, whichever way. But the diameter, because you know radius is half of the diameter, right? Mm-hmm. So the diameter is half inch, which is why they call it a half inch steel. So if this is a steel, this little end there, this diameter from one end to this end is half inch. So you're going to calculate 40 times half inch and you get 20 inches. However, the recommended practice is 24 inches. So that is what we use.
So 2 feet
on the ground in practice, right? Now, sometimes you have to lap it this way. You have to lap it this way as opposed to this way.
Why?
Yeah, because this is for a column.
Oh.
So when you're standing up, we don't get to columns yet. So when we're doing this way horizontal, we're in the foundation. Or a beam, could be a beam, mm-hmm. or the foundation. But this way is a column, or sometimes we say a stiffener, right? There's a difference actually between a column and a stiffener. But anyway, we use it loosely, but there's a difference. So for this way, you got to formalize 30 times the bar diameter. Again, 30 times half inch is 15 inches. But for practice in the field, we use 18 inches as well. All right. Sometimes the men will just do 24. For both, because easier for them remember them just to 24, Miss D, 24.
It should be strong at 24.
Well, technically.
You just use more steel.
Use more steel. So make sure that if they have to lap, that you have your 24. You're lapping this way, your matting must lap over 24, right? Same thing when they're using those BRC meshes on the floor, they must lap, all right? Now, I gave you an example. Actually, very good of you, Claudia, to give an example. So as you can see, so the horizontal for the half inch is 24. But if you're up to 5/8 now, remember, you're going to use a diameter, which is now 5/8 times the 40 or times the 30. So for 5/8 though, we tend to use 36 inches. All right. Now, let's go to calculations now. That's what we're here for. Let's calculate the total rebars.
Calculate.
It's right here. And calculate the half inch. So the building width is 26 and the length of the building is 45. We know that we added all four sides and we came to 142 running feet. Don't lose me now. 142 running feet. I'm working in feet because that's what I learned in school. Those of you who learn meters, just do the same calculation. So 142 running feet times how many long bars are in the foundation? Remember I said it? How many?
3.
3. Those red ones. 3 of them. So if it's 3, they multiply 142 by 3 because you have to have 3 going right around the foundation. And you get 426 feet. Now, because of the lapping, I know I'm going to be lapping on this side and this side. The width here is only 26. And my steel coming 29. So I'm not lapping in the back or the front, but I'm lapping on the sides. So because I'm lapping on the sides, 2 feet for each bar, that is on this side is 6 more feet I need, on this side 6. So I just added 12 feet to the measurement and I'm at 438 feet. I know the length of the bar is 29 feet. So I divide my 438 by 29 so that I know how much steel to buy. So this is telling me 15.41 lengths or 16 lengths of half-inch steel. So for this outside foundation, remember guys, we don't reach the inside walls yet. For the inside walls, we need to go to the foundation plan so that we can see exactly what it is that the engineers have drawn for us for the inside walls, because sometimes not every inside wall will need a foundation, right? So here it is now. So for this one, the external foundation will need 16 lengths of half-inch steel. All right, so what about the links? Remember the links now are the ones that are 18 on center, 8 inches on center. So to calculate trade steel, we still need a running foot right around. Width of the foundation is 18 inches and the length of each link is 18 inches as well. Usually the length of the links is the width of the foundation. So if it was 24 inches, then we would take a 24 inches. So it is 142 feet, which is a feet. Now this is in feet, but because they've asked me to put it 8 inches on center, I need to bring up my measurement to inches. Remember when in maths class, them tell you work with one measurement. So don't work between feet and inch. Bring everything to one thing and work in that first. So if it was 12 inches, which is 1 foot, I wouldn't bother to bring it to inches, right? Because if it was 1 foot apart, then I would know I would need 142 links. So, but because it's 8 inches on center, I have to bring 142 times 12 to 1,704 inches. Then I'm going to divide that by 8 because they're 8 inches apart. And that gives me 213 links that I'm going to need. Now, each link is 18 inches. So I'm still working in inches. So 213 links times 18 inches gives me 3,834 inches. But I want to bring this back to feet now because my steel is 29 feet. So 334 inches divided by 12 gives me 319.5 feet. So I need 319.5 feet of links. I'm dividing that by 29 to know how many bars, how much length of steel then I'm to buy. So this figure is telling me I'm buying 11.01, or I usually round up, so I go 12 lengths of 3/8 steel. Tony, you understand? If Tony understand, everybody understand. There ended the lesson. So of course you can ask me questions as we go along. If there's something you don't understand. As Tony says, she's gonna break out just these little sessions and get them up for you. You're back, Tony. You're back. All right, everybody. So we just worked out just for the foundation. The work don't start it, That's why you have to pay us for the estimate, because it does take a lot out of us, right? So it is. We worked out. We know how much concrete already we're going to pour, but we're only on the outside, as I said. We haven't gone to the inner walls yet. And why you would probably even only calculate the outside is because sometimes you're going to be using drywall on the inside, really, right? So because you're using drywall on the inside, you might only be coming up with, well, even if you're coming up with the columns, we would still run the foundation, because we're doing strip foundation. Oh, this is a strip foundation, so we would still do the foundation and come through with the columns, but we wouldn't come through with the walls because you're going to be using drywall inside. All right. So remember, we're still on the outside. I might calculate the inside, but the calculating the inside is similar, but I would need a foundation drawing, which I don't think I have a foundation drawing for this, because I'm actually just trying to bring up this model house now. But I get another foundation drawing, and then we can calculate that one. Any questions?
Cherie says, yes, they had a meeting, but it seems like the other homeowners can afford it. It's the new expense. So it goes.
So she's outvoted.
Herbert says, do rent property in Jamaica.
Do rent property? I don't understand the question, Herbert. Do rent property in Jamaica? All right, maybe it should be, do you rent property in Jamaica? If that's what you're asking, we prefer to sell properties. If we do get a property to rent, it's because maybe we would have sold the client that property, and then we're now trying to rent it for them. But we really don't take on rentals like that.
Gilbert says, okay, so the women are fighting over the steel.
Gilbert, that's what they got from that. What I wanted you to get, Gilbert, or the women to get, is that if the man don't have any steel in him can't manage no tensile, nothing going on. Him can't manage it. The pulling apart, he cannot manage it. He's gonna break. So you have to make sure that the man have some steel in him before you start the tug of war.
Future says, Miss Davis, you know normal when it comes to putting up a structure. Future says, Pinnacle Montego Bay, the architect is Jamaican woman.
Yes. We look about with the law.
Jovan says, good afternoon, ladies. Sorry, I'm late.
Hi, Jovan, but I think you still got the lesson, right? Should have.
Got some of it, yes. Ruby says, good afternoon, everyone. What can I use to add 4 inches times 7 feet of material in a shower? The shower door is 36 inches, but the space is 40 inches wide. 4 inches more. What kind of waterproof material to use? Maybe build up the door jam?
So she wants to add 4 inches. 4 inches in width, 7 feet in height. The shower door is only 36 inches, but the space is 40 wide. But the door is 36. You want to bridge a gap.
Oh, it's a show as in glass?
You might have to frame it. You might have to frame it with track and stud and use concrete board. And then you just tile the space.
For 4 inches.
Yeah, so what is she going to use? She needs something that can stand up. So it don't make sense she use blocks. That's just way too messy. She can't use a concrete board without putting it on a frame. You can use 2x4 too, and then you put concrete board over that. So you can get a piece of 2x4. 2x4 meaning 4 flat this way, right? Which may be better because to hang the shower door, you still don't have to put a 2x4 in between anyway. So you may be better off going with 2x4. So you frame with 2x4. So you got 2x4 where the 4 is covering the gap, 2x4 this way, and 2x4 the next way. So I don't know the depth here, but definitely 2x4, 2x4, 2x4. But if you put a concrete board on that, you might have to shave down the 2x4. If it's a dead 4 inches you have. Them sell 2x3? I think so. Oh, 2x4 don't really come in 2x4. It come in as something like 3.5 or 3 3/4. So you suppose you can use it and get it. So you get 2x4. When you go in there and measure it, it should be less than 2x4. And then you use a concrete board to make it up. So you must frame the outside of the board and the side and the other side with a concrete board. And you want to make sure that you use a proper silicone. We use one called Dynamic 100. I said name, Tony.
Not sure.
I saw a tube in my car just this week here. So name Dynamic 100. We buy it from a place down at South Campbell.
Yeah,
Yes,
by
yeah.
post office.
What's the name of the company? It's not on the shelves. But you want to ensure that you definitely use that Dynamic 200 to seal up like the base. So we use it at the base of showers and so on. So if we're building a concrete board shower.
That's it, mommy?
Yeah, that's it. Named Dynamic 100. Preston Hardware. So who have it?
This is foreign.
Oh, this is foreign. Oh, you might can buy it online then. You might can buy it online. So we use that to, if we're framing like showers out of concrete board and so, we use it at the base so that the water don't penetrate or for some reason break through the grout and get to the board or whatever, or truck and stud or whatever it is that we used. So we try to get that. This one, very high performance, very good. So this is what we use. Don't just use a regular silicone that you're picking off a shelf in where's if it's cheap. You need something like this. We buy this at Johnny or the place. Are you in Jamaica? You go down South Camp Road, you turn left at the post office. CSO post office.
And it's a Sagicor complex.
And
right?
I'm pulling left at the Sagicor complex. Go
And
through
there the
and
first
turn left. First left and go straight down. That's where. I don't remember the name of the company. But that's what you use to seal up. Before you tile and all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna make sure you seal that board, seal the concrete board, seal every joint. So when you join with the concrete board going join to make the right angle of the board, you make sure you see your silicone. Me usually take on the part of myself. Me not trust them man if to do it. Me usually go through with the gun and just some of them. Miss D, they put so much money thing up. Me say it's alright. Me say it's alright. I prefer done the silicone. I prefer done a whole case of silicone on it.
Than have a leak.
Than have a leak.
No, leaks are the worst.
Yeah, because the board got rotten, then the shower got fail. And then you have to go pull on the whole bathroom just to fix that. So
Melanie,
so that's what you use, Ruby.
Miss Davis, what is your view on building homes with EPS foam?
What is EPS for? Is it a concrete board?
I'm not sure.
EPS mean? EPS. You don't have it right. You need to spell it right. EPS. EPS. Insulation. So what is it used for? Go here. It's a drywall. EPS form used for. EPS mean expanded polyurethane. It's a lightweight and rigid foam material. It's a material of choice of packaging and construction. This is not what you ask me. Ask it's a EPS foam in construction or for construction. I'm not sure what it is. EPS foam.
Maybe
EPS
it's the
foam
thing that
blocks.
makes surfboards.
Expanded polyurethane foam blocks are versatile, lightweight, cost effective. They're used for a variety, including thermal institution, structural fills, and lightweight filling. But this is only for light. It's all like light work. Scroll down. What is it used for in construction? So something here. Up here. Versatile lightweight alternative to traditional fill materials such as soil or concrete. Due to its high compressive strength, is widely used in civil engineering specification, lateral pressures, and to reduce the need for preloading. So is it a block?
Yes, it is. It says it's used for highways, bridges, embankments, and parking lots.
There are a myriad of other uses due to the fact that the geofoam is a soil replacement, covered to look like a wall or a natural soil surface. I know this here says it's used for highway, bridges, embankments, and parking lots. But is it used for homes where you're going to be inside of this home breathing these materials? I'm not so sure. I've never, let me see, for house construction. I've never heard of it. Is there a company out here selling this? Foundation walls and floors,
Okay.
thermal and sound insulation, fire and moisture resistant, lightweight, flexibility, environmental friendliness.
Maybe you can use it for like a single level house.
No.
Can it
EPS
withstand
foam
earthquake?
blocks can be used in the insulated concrete formwork. Give me a block and steel any day.
No, maybe this could be a good replacement.
Maybe it could be, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe because I am. You see, block and steel outlive you. I'm not so sure about these materials.
Oh, Jovan says it's used instead of block.
So who sells it? Maybe I can go check it out, Jovan. Is it in Jamaica? Norma says, what's the best thing to seal a leaking slab roof? That would be roof compound, Norma. Any kind of roof compound can do that. Or depends, you have to clean. Well, so one of the first things you have to clean off the roof. Power wash it off with all the mold and grime and this and that. Then roof compound. If there are no cracks, if there are cracks, so I have to fix that first.
So you fix cracks in concrete?
The same company sells a product. Yep. It depends. If it's a hairline crack, we can fix that. Structural cracks, you're going to be in trouble if it's structural.
Okay.
Slab. You can also use membrane. So we've used membrane. So membrane is something on a roll, Norma, that we would burn onto the roof. It's a felt like that covers the roof. Or you can use roof compound. Roof compound is the cheapest way to go.
So with the roof compound, you just do the little section that's leaking or the whole roof?
No, the whole roof.
The whole, oh, you spray it on like paint?
Spray it on like paint. I see Hurricane Gilbert saying EPS foam is used to replace the traditional block and steel. Google Freeform Factory. Oh, Freeform Factory. Yeah, I know about Freeform Factory. When I was which house I was doing, was it Cooper's Hill? And I asked them to give me an estimate. The estimate they were giving was the same as if I'd used block and steel. I prefer to use block and steel. It has to be like half the price before I will touch it. If it's the same price as block and steel, I prefer go the traditional.
But is it less work than block and steel? Do you need someone to render the wall and put mortar between it? And
I don't know. I don't know. But what can dramatically reduce the cost of construction is if Jamaicans will use drywall inside for the walls. Most Jamaicans refuse to. Everybody wants block and steel, right through.
Future says, with today's lesson, I'm ready to take on my project.
Future just a foundation.
Future, you're ready to dig foundation.
Dig foundation. We just start Future, you don't see nothing yet. Boy, Future, you can over calculations, you're going to have to remember. So as I go through, remember to take notes and so on. Or you can wait on the book. The book is coming out. Yes, Freeform Factory sells that. Oh. That's the one, them use a panel, but them still going to spray concrete, I think.
On it?
Either on it or in between it. One thing on it. And they still have to use steel. I'm in St. Elizabeth. What was Ruby's question again?
You asked about the show. Yeah, I think Ruby asked about the show.
Oh.
Oh, she said it in St. Elizabeth because the dynamic thing is in Kingston. But Ruby, worth the trip.
Worth the trip, Ruby. It's worth the trip. Or if you ask me to get it, I can get it for you now. I'll send it down on the North Side Express. You must be near a North Side Express in St.
Elizabeth. That's what comes to Luano.
Yeah. I wonder if them have it at any. I've never seen it at any. What happened? I think the trades use it, right? When I say the trades, I mean contractors and so on, building buildings and so on. But it's not on the shelf retail, and it's not even that expensive to me. I don't think it is.
Mm-hmm.
But how can you get it? I can put it on Northern Express for you. Mm-hmm. But you need to know how much of it you're going to need to talk to your contractor. I remember, even though you're filling out to the board and the concrete board on top of it, why concrete board and not drywall? You can use moisture board too. So concrete board is more expensive than the moisture board. The moisture board is like drywall, but it's green, right? No, I use a moisture board, but not in showers. So I'll use it in the rest of the bathroom. I'm framing up the rest of the bathroom, like where the toilet is and so, but I'm not going to use it in the shower. For the shower area, I'll definitely use concrete board. I think it's more durable. And another trick I can tell you to guys, if you have the money, buy moisture board and do the whole house with the drywall inside. That green board, the termites don't eat it.
Wait there, so go back. You said instead of using drywall, buy moisture board.
Drywall is like, just buy some drywall and how much I paid for it. 1 second. Let me see my phone.
But why you buy drywall? You said it was buy.
No, I did. No, this is for ceiling, not the wall.
Oh.
I'm currently doing a ceiling, and I had to buy some drywall. So.
And Jovan says, yes, they spray concrete on it, then render. The only true pro I see is the construction time is faster. For showers, the concrete board is the #1 option.
Right. Spectrum. So the drywall, truck studs. Drywall at 2,000 something for one now. Whoa. It used to be 1, 2, and I was not looking at the price. I just paid the bill. Papa Jesus.
All right, Mom, it's 5 o'clock.
Well, it's 5 o'clock already. That's why so much people start calling me.
Yep.
You have any more questions?
No, we're out of questions.
Oh, great. You did good today, man. You did good today. You did good today. So, the last tip I was giving you, I was trying to find the price for them, but so the moisture board does better. It is just like drywall, texture and everything, but it's green. The color is green. Moisture board handles moisture well. So you can, instead of framing the whole place with drywall, if you know, suppose you have a bathroom here and this wall in this bedroom backs to the bathroom, use the moisture board, right? Because it handles the moisture well and it handles the termites. I know that from experience because we framed up a place and we only use moisture board where the kitchen was and the bathroom came around. And then the other side we use regular drywall. Termite them, chichi them, near them off, nam down the drywall.
And left the other part.
And leave the green board.
You don't only spend that $4,000 for the boardy.
Totally. Now remind me if I only had known. So no, everybody touts the green board for moisture, but trust me, termite resistant as well. All right.
All right.
So I'm in Kingston tomorrow. If you need me to do that for you, let me know because after that we're out of here. We're gone to the rest of the island, all boat. Each one on a tour next week. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for staying with us. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Have a productive week.
Yes. How productive? Counting block and steel. All right.